we're about to start. If you want to just mute your number or phone. But
You need to push her back.
unmute it until you say you're here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. We're going to call the meeting to order. It's 10 o'clock. And, well, wait a minute. Good morning. Welcome to the Dade County Board of Commissioners special call meeting. This is a meeting to consider approval of the Dade County fiscal year 2026 budget with a limited agenda as such. The meeting was advertised and posted in the hallway of the Dade County Commission. We also have a member present today remotely. I think this is the first time we've done this. Under laws established during COVID, it allowed commissioners in the state of Georgia to call into 2 meetings per year. So Melissa Bradford is out of town, but she is here live with us. So we'll call the roll. We'll start with Melissa Blevins. Melissa, are you here?
Bradford.
I mean Melissa Bradford. What did I say?
Blevins.
Yes,
Oh.
I'm here, thank you.
Yes, Mrs. Bradford, not Blevins. Okay, yes, you're here, good. Mr. Woods,
I'm here.
Dr. Pullen,
Present.
Mr. Hartline is absent at the present time. He may sneak in here, and the chair is present, so we have a legal quorum. At the last meeting, we had a public hearing last week at the same time, which was again advertised 7 days in advance. Actually, it's probably more like 10 days in advance, but anyway, for a public hearing to take place on the budget, which is a requirement of state law. And then 7 days later, at least 7 days later, we're allowed to then vote upon that budget. Am I correct, County Attorney? Okay, thank you. So last week we did propose a budget that totaled, let me get my glasses on here. The total expense was $16,069,000, and the revenues totaled $15,719,000. As I reported last week, that was a difference of $350,000. And since then, we over Friday afternoon, Friday night, Saturday, and a little bit of Sunday, we worked on that. I give a lot of credit to our CFO, Rebecca Jones, and thank her for working diligently to get all these things entered into. But we worked together on that and have made sufficient cuts to balance the budget to zero difference between revenues and expenses, and that includes currently not using the unreserved fund balance at all. As we have the right to do that. We're in a position now that we could do that if we wanted to, but it's not required at the present time. Some of the differences, if we want to go through that really quick, were last week we were proposing a 4% COLA for our employees. The state has not allowed or is not allowing a COLA that we can find anywhere in state budget documents for employees, and typically we pass that along. Therefore, elected officials this year will not get a increase in salary. Typically that would occur on January 1st for the next fiscal year, but anyway, that's not been approved in the state budget. Therefore, we have to. State law dictates what elected officials are paid, and so it's not there. But we had a 4% increase last week. That totaled a $275,000 increase to the budget. But what we've done is cut out 1.5% of that, and so that COLA now would stand at $172,000. So that was a $103,000 reduction from last week, and from version 1 of the budget. Increases let's talk first, increases over and decreases from last year's budget, the current year's budget, FY25 to FY26. There is $250,000 increase for medical insurance, when basically, when I say medical, it's health insurance for employees, and that was, came in right at 8% increase over last year. That's $250,000. Again, the $172,000 for a COLA, which COLA stands for Cost of Living Allowance. $80,000 for animal control. $50,000 for supplements, and those supplements include the district attorney's office, $37,000, and the library at $13,000. Which total $50,000 increase. The contracted services are up $19,000. The difference there is actually there was an increase of $38,000 in emergency services, $28,000 in information technology, $24,000 in building maintenance, $12,000 in emergency 911, $11,000 in the sheriff's office. But the tax assessor had a $56,000 decrease, and therefore the net result of that is only $19,000. So of all those, it would have been a hefty amount of increase if it had not been for the tax assessor's reduction, because they had some contracted services for FY24 that we got out a little less expensive than we thought, and then they finished up that job, so that is restored back to the budget. Let's see, tourism, we have, so what we've done is create a whole division for the historic courthouse operation. It is increase, and basically that's the power, the water, and the gas to run the building. We've estimated at $16,000. We'll have a better idea after one full year, but we think that's probably pretty much pretty on target. But you got to remember, I'll just go ahead and note this, it's $16,000 increase to the expenses, but it was a $33,000 increase to revenue because of the rent. And so therefore, there's a delta there of $17,000 that's in the black, not the red. So actually, it's making the county some money. It's costing $16,000, but we're making a net $17,000 because we anticipate bringing in $33,000 in rents from the different departments, agencies, and the rent from the public using the upstairs. The sheriff's office has requested $13,000 increase in repairs and maintenance. Landfill fees, we did see a decrease of $65,000 in sanitation department for landfill fees. Inmate medical, we show a decrease of $39,000 for the jail, and then dues and fees. The economic development team, primarily Industrial Development Authority, passed their budget recently for fiscal year 26, and they agreed to pay the dues that we've been paying to Northwest Georgia Joint Development Authority. So that's a reduction in their budget of $26,000. So all of those increases and decreases net out to $484,000. And that's the change from the FY25 budget to FY26 budget. Now looking at FY26 budget proposal last week compared to this week, first draft over the final draft being proposed, we show an additional $101,000 in revenue overall, okay? So that makes, several things make that up. Several things with commissioner property tax being collected, mobile home tax, timber tax. Those are things that are set by the, collected by Angie Galloway's office, the Honorable Angie Galloway, and the tax commissioner, but she doesn't set that. That's set over at property records as far as the assessments go. And so based off of those assessments, we do think there'll be sufficient growth in the digest to collect those additional amounts. Elections and city, there's a city and a Board of Education election this fall, so that's an amount that we probably can collect of $24,000 in revenue. The Board of Education, we understand, is having a referendum to present an East Blost, and then the city elections will be held this fall in November. HPC grant, which is Historic Preservation Commission grant, we do have a award letter for $20,000 that we are putting in FY26, so should be collecting those monies here soon. Could be a little above, could be a little below, but 20 is a good number. Sale of general fixed assets, we've just about sold everything we're aware of, but we know for sure there'll be at least two items for sale next year, so we did increase that to by 15,000. Gov Deals has been selling stuff. We've been amazed at how much we're getting on those things. The insurance premium tax of $10,000 and the NRCS grant, Mr. Bonico is here. We do have 1 year left on that, so we've estimated that to increase or go by $6,000, so we think we'll collect that. So that makes up the $101,000 increases over onto revenue. Expenses that were cut this past week was the employee COLA, and again, that's right at $100,000. It's actually $103,000, but right at $100,000. Supplements, Public Health had their Board of Health meeting, and they approved their budget, and they have now restored their fund balance to a sufficient level that they feel like they can reduce their supplement request by $62,000, which was a great thing for the county. Dues and fees, again, economic development from the top, we talked about $26,000. The contract services in administration, we cut $10,000. It's a contract called Innovate, and so we feel like that we can go ahead and reduce that amount for next year. Electricity in admin, we had, I can't remember why we calculated, but we calculated, what was it?
We're paying the historic house for this
That's
fiscal
right.
year out of admin, but we're going to move it starting in July.
Right, it was listed twice, it was duplicated. The electrical bills, we put it over there, but we found that they were actually in our budget, so that was $5,000 that we located. It was just a duplicate entry. General supplies, admin was $3,000 decrease. Maintenance and vehicle in the sheriff's office, we think they, soon will get, they just got 2 cars this year. I think they'll ask for 2 more this current year, and then probably 2 next year. So as new fleet comes on, typically those maintenance issues go down. And then group insurance, plus they had 4 wrecked vehicles in 1 year. That's abnormal for them. No, not wrecked vehicles. 4 engines that blew up or something, a problem. They had to replace the engine in 4. And so that is not typical. Normally maybe 1, but not 4. So we think that's reasonable to assume that can go down $13,000. And then group insurance in the jail and the sheriff's office went down $25,000. And then miscellaneous from what it was budgeted last week. And then miscellaneous, there's all kinds of little things throughout the budget, too numerous to note, that totaled $5,000. So combine $249,000 in savings and expenses, plus the $101,000 in revenues brings us to where we got the $350,000 makeup from last week. That was a lot. Felt like I needed to go through that. I hope that didn't bore you too much. But any questions on the budget, proposed budget? All right, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion then to provide for the adoption of a budget containing estimates of proposed revenues and expenditures.
Yeah, on the animal control,
Oh, we got a question.
this has to do with the hiring of new officers that we've been talking about?
Right.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that was.
We have
that was-
one listed.
Yes, for us.
For the county.
For the county, yes. Okay.
Yeah, and I would just like
say how, I appreciate all the work and, looking over everything. It looks really good. So I appreciate all the hard work that you guys put into it.
Thank you. Okay. All right. So we have a resolution to adopt a budget containing estimates for proposed revenue and expenditures for fiscal year 2026.
I'll make a motion.
All right. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, we'll go around the table. Melissa?
I'm good. I think everything's good, so I'm a yes.
Okay. Mr. Woods?
Yes.
Dr. Pullen?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. So by unanimous vote, we approve the budget. Thank you very much. Hearing no other business, we will adjourn this meeting. Thank you.